I recently got a new fridge, Xbox Series X. Getting a new console is exciting, but what good is that console without any games? The fridge didn't come in a bundle and it felt like a waste just to play Fortnite or the finals again. I wanted something new on my shiny toy. So I did what many Xbox owners do and I subscribed to Game Pass. Xbox Game Pass is inarguably the best deal in gaming. For $10 a month, or $15 if you want to play online, you get access to this massive library of games and all of Microsoft's first-party offerings on day one. You get Halo right away, you get Starfield right away, you won't get Hollow Knight right away because that game never existed and never will exist. I immediately hit download on Hi-Fi Rush and completed it in a week or so. Hi-Fi Rush is Microsoft's best game in a long time. This rhythm action game is a delight, bursting with character and energy. And the soundtrack. Ooh, the soundtrack. The mix of original and licensed music is top tier, and the game can also be finished without it becoming a second job, which is quite refreshing in 2024. No spoilers, but the last 3 levels of this game were euphoric. It was one of the most invigorating games I've played in years. But after that, emptiness. I have no idea what to play next. I scroll through the Game Pass catalog, hoping, praying, that something grabs me like Hi-Fi Rush did. Do I finally get to the campaign of Halo Infinite after enjoying the multiplayer but burning out of it soon after launch? Or do I visit Mexico and the beautiful vistas of Forza Horizon 5, the sequel to my favorite Xbox One game? Is Rainbow Six Siege or Sea of Thieves worth getting into this far from their releases? Do you need to play Psychonauts before playing Psychonauts 2? Do I have 12 hours free to get to the good part of Starfield? No, I don't have time for that. Do I play a Yakuza game to finally understand the funny song from Samba de Amigo? Is Ori and the Will of the Wisps a better platformer than Super Mario Wonder? Do I finally finish Arkham Knight 8 years after abandoning it on the PS4? Side note, why is this described as a horror game?
Surprise, bitch.
Oh, right. Is Need for Speed Unbound a good stylish racer? Do I ruin my life and finally get into city building games like Cities Skyline? Is Persona 5 Tactico really for me, even though I don't like turn-based combat? What the hell is a Blinks? What the hell is an F1 manager? I do suck at parking, so why would I want to play a game about that? Do I just say screw it and play MLB The Show because my dirty secret is that I like good sports games and it's a good sports game? There's so many choices and so many options that I should like, but nothing has compelled me to hit play. Do I even like video games anymore? Did I just waste $300 on a new video game system when I don't like video games? Should I just sit here and keep looking at this damn screen like I have for the past hour? Am I the only one that feels this way? This is all making me insane. What I'm currently experiencing is a real psychological reaction called choice overload. First introduced in the 1970s by Alvin Toffler and expanded upon by Barry Schwartz in his 2004 book, The Paradox of Choice, Why More is Less, this concept helps explain why Game Pass stresses me out so much. The options are overwhelming. Schwartz puts it well when he says, learning to choose is hard, learning to choose well is harder, and learning to choose well in a world of unlimited possibilities is harder still, perhaps too hard. While it's undoubtedly a great service, picking out a game to play out of Game Pass is much harder than picking out something to play that I've already bought. I was more motivated to play Spider-Man 2 or Tears of the Kingdom because I bought them. I felt the incentive because I put down the cash for those specific games. And I don't just buy games willy-nilly. I mostly just purchase games I know I want to play, not just ones that look kind of interesting. I feel way more guilty when I don't play Samba de Amigo for months because I spent money on it. I don't feel as guilty for letting Cocoon or No Man's Sky just sit in my library untouched because it's just part of a subscription. I didn't spend the money specifically for those games, I spent the money on the service. And that's such a different feeling. It's like when you can't find something to watch on Netflix, aside from the library not being that good. You're just overwhelmed with options. While Game Pass is much less risk for taking a chance on a game, it feels like there's less reward as well. When something like Halo or Forza is always lurking around the corner, ready to be your safety net when you get the slightest bit bored. When there are so many options, it's hard for something to grab you, to stand out. It's an overload. It's something that everyone has to deal with in a service like Game Pass. Its huge library is both its biggest strength and its biggest weakness to me. Even a service like Game Pass Core, which just gives you about 25 games. It feels much less overwhelming and much more curated. It feels like it'd be much easier to pick a game out of just this list of games compared to the normal Game Pass library. But with all that, I'm not ready to give up on Game Pass. I know there are so many great titles and interesting experiences to enjoy. Hell, my first Game Pass game was one of the best games I've played in months. I will get over this. I just need to pick a game, press start, and get playing.
0-2 now. Chases the fastball up the ladder, struck him out.
I have to accept and love myself as a person, regardless of my flaws.